Good day to you all, and I hope everything is good. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today I'm on a 2019 Nissan Rogue. Should be the same procedure from 2014 through 2020. You're going to change the front brake pad, so you're going to need a 21 millimeter. Remove your lugs. Always use a jack and a jack stand for safety. You don't want to risk your life. So if you have a wheel lock key, it's going to be the one that looks like this. Got the little piece that looks like this in there. So we got one of those over here. We'll get him off first, and I recommend that you spin it around till you feel it seat, because you definitely don't want this to strip, but you'll feel it like that. Let's get it. But yep, definitely don't want to cross thread or strip anything. So you want to get on there real good. Make sure you're on there real good. We go to level 3. Alright, got him out the way. So after you do so, that's what it looks like. Move it to the side. And move that down here. And let's get these on off. And you want to make sure you're all the way on. Alright. Get all those dudes off. Get the smack. And the snatch. Alright. Alright, got the wheel out the way. See if these feel like 14s. I'm gonna get some WD-40 or some PB Blaster and a 14. Well, just gonna get the kit and let you know what's happening. All right, so we back in there. They are 14, so always make sure your wrench is righty tighty, lefty loosey, and you definitely want to use a 6-point socket on your hardware under the vehicle because they get rusty sometimes, and a 12-point it's more likely to round off. So however you get them off, you can put them back on. You can use a torque wrench to put them back on, but I usually smack them off with your hand. You can put it back on the same way, and I'll show you at the end. All right, so we got those two loose. This is a little tight still. All right, let's get these on out. Something not blocking too much. And we'll move. Try to move my light somewhere a little better, like there. Hopefully that's good for you all. Alright, so from there we're going to take our screwdriver, just compress it over something like this. And then we should be able to dig this out and pull it straight out like that. Now you can use a brake pad kit or you can use a caliper compressor. So yeah, they both work good. And you want to check your guide pins. Man, both of these guide pins are froze, which usually means it's a headache. So what happens is when these freeze up, the heat basically cooks the grease and it heats up so much to where these just freeze. So I'm about to spray these with some WD-40. So don't just think you're going in to change your brakes. Sometimes it's that way and sometimes it's not. So yeah, I'm about to spray this down. So let me do it while we're talking. So hopefully they come out. So hopefully you don't have this issue and you can just go ahead and continue. But if these are frozen, try to pull back this rubber right around here so I can spray down in here. Worst case scenario is you'll have to heat these up, and if you can't get them out, worst case scenario is having to buy a new caliper because the bracket itself, they don't sell it by itself. So I'm gonna do what I can to try to get these out. Hopefully I can. Move these rubber bushings back a little bit and go from there. So let me get something smaller so I can start spraying some WD-40 or this blaster in there. I'm gonna come over on this side a little bit, that way you can see the struggles getting these pads out, well, changing the caliber and everything. All right, so yeah, let me get a pick. All right, so we back in there. Guide pins are frozen, and yeah, let me get a caliber hanger so I can make my life easier. All right, so I got my caliber hanger. Probably gonna get some more lights in a minute. Let's go ahead and hang this on up and out the way. And I usually hang mine up on my shock like that because we got some beating and banging to do. Try to get these guide pins out. And let's go over the hose a little bit. All right. I'm gonna use that as our light spot. Let's see what that works. All right, so let's get one of these picks here. We're gonna dig around in here. try to work it back. And I'm trying to get it in there pretty good, like about there. And I'm gonna take my rust penetrant and try to get in there. Let that work around. Hopefully we can get it to free up. Do the same with the bottom one. And this one has frozen out. See the shroom right here where it didn't go back in anymore. So let's try it, see what we can get. Worst case, like I said, I have to replace the whole caliper. That's the worst case, so let's get in there. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit up and work inside. Then you're gonna need some locking pliers, and let's see if we get motion. If we get motion, we're good. We can probably get them out without heating them up. Yep, we got motion. That's good. Let's see about this one. Right, so it's got a box end on it. See if this one's gonna rotate it up. And that might happen to you as well, so just be careful. And let's move this out of the way. We don't need anything else in this right now. All right. Got one to move. This one's sitting a little sideways. This one's, it's not an oval. So let's see if we can get it to rotate again. And let's back this down some more. And these might be cheap. Let's see. These were a gift. And nothing so far. Let me try to get the box end of it. And I'm gonna let you know what happens. We got movement on one. See if we can get this to move. And it don't look like it, so let's start beating on it. Alright, we need baby sludge. We pop these demolition gloves on. And this is the parts that people hate when you run into stuff, okay? So hopefully it comes out. If not, we'll torch it out. I have to make a call so I can get some propane. Alright, so we got those on, we got the hammer. Alright, we got our breaker bar here. And we also have a striking flathead. So I usually go in here on the sides. So let's see if we can get the one that's already loose out. So I'm going on the side like this. Pass might come out on you. So definitely change your brakes when they start to get loud on you. See if we can rotate this again. So you want to keep rotating it back and forth like this. As long as it's moving, you should be able to get it out. And these pliers are going in the trash. I don't know where they came from. Job Smart. Yeah, Job Smart. It sucked. All right. So doing this right here. Spray some more spray down in there. So I'm gonna continue to do this. Actually, I might just keep you on camera with me. I'm gonna pause from time to time while this is setting up. And hopefully get something from the top one. Yeah, it's real dry in there. But yeah, you want to lubricate these if they're not moving when you're doing this job, if you can get them out. So let's see what these cobalts do for his grip. Back down some. Keep sliding off. It's coming this way, yeah. Alright, we got some motion. Alright, so I got a little motion. Hopefully I don't have to heat them up, but it's gonna take me a minute to work them out. Usually when I'm running this problem, it usually takes about 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes each one. So I'm gonna pause video, let you know the time frame of getting these out so we can change the brake pads. Otherwise, it's not gonna squeeze like it's supposed to. Those are just gonna sit out like this. You're gonna have new pads on, but you won't be able to get the new pads on because they're thicker. So yeah, those are worn all the way down. You can put new pads on, but your caliper has to be compressed back. So let me get these guide pins cracking. So I figured I'd show some of this for those who might have this issue. So I'm on the ground now, just so I can get in here a little better, because if you keep knocking at one side, it's gonna bend, so you're gonna have to go top, bottom. So I figured I'd show some of it. I got this one to pop out. It's real dry. So let's go in here, from the bottom. And when they start to smoke, that's when they start to get loose. Let me get a little better position. If you're on the lift, you're good. Position. Now I'm hoping to come on out. I think I got some movement. Watch your hands. Let's put some more spray down in there. See if I can twist it. Got some movement. This is where you're gonna have to just keep working back and forth. And keep spraying. Alright, let's get two hands on it. And you want to keep working till it's real loose. And like I said, you're gonna have to keep spraying it. Should be able to knock this out. You're gonna have to use some brake grease so they'll glide like they're supposed to. I figured I'd show this as well. Those who might run into this issue, you're gonna get stuck. Hopefully yours come out. All right, we should be able to knock this out now, but I'm gonna go all the way around. And I'm just glad I didn't have to heat it up. But you gotta take your time. You're gonna wanna get done, so just don't rush. Now we got quite a bit of movement there. I'm gonna leave this here for now. Let's knock this one the rest of the way out. Got this one out, and what happens is this grease starts to dry up and it'll turn into a rusty cake. So we're about to clean these all the way up, so I'm just gonna sit this here for now. And then you're gonna spray inside with brake cleaner. And I usually use a flathead and I'll twist around, spray, twist around, spray. Then you're gonna have to let that brake parts cleaner dry. Then you're gonna have to add brake grease. So I'm gonna show all that as well. Okay, checking out these new brake clips, these springs. You might want to take a picture of that like I'm about to do. These are a new setup, the way they got these springs in, and I don't want to forget. You don't want to either. So let's get this dude on out. All right, hammer time. Watch your fingers. Quite a bit that time. Yes, here we go, baby. Top bottom. If you have to, keep rotating. Put your grips back on. There we go. All right, almost there. Right, and this one's a lot more rustier. It's very dry. You got grease on the tip, but very, very dry. Right, so we got them both out, which is great. Let me take a screenshot of this setup for as the brake clips, and yeah, that way we can change those as well. All right, sit that there for a minute. Those are gonna have to be cleaned. So give me a sec. All right, let's do a quick pad comparison before I get started on removing these clips. So these are the new pads, the old pads, and these were down all the way to the metal almost. So they caught them just in time before they started tearing up the rotors. These rotors could be replaced, but they're not real bad. There's no grooves in them or anything. So just wanted to make sure. All right, so back to these brake clips. Before we even compress the caliper, I'm gonna set these new clips up. So some of the new ones if you get the Duralast Gold. So this will be the parts number. Let me go ahead and grab that for you guys. That's the parts number there, DG1737. All right, Nissan. All right. Now, this is the part that you're gonna probably have some tediousness with. So I should be able to just pop this up like this. Get this out first. So this is the setup here. So I think since this came out so easy, I've never done these before, but way they came out, I'm gonna set them back up before I put the clips in and try to do the spring. So let's do that. I already got them side by side. When they go in, you want the spring lip right here to face up, okay? Same thing with that one. At the top, it's gonna face down. So it's gonna be this way versus the opposite way. Okay, so let me set these up. And they should be universal, which they are. And we're gonna look at this and let's get them in. All right, so this side here, you're gonna swing this arm in here, come around your spring up underneath this clamp here, and you're gonna pop it in under that clamp there. See if I can get it in. And if not, you gotta reset and do it all over again. So let me do that. I'm trying to get on camera as much as possible. Yeah. Let's see if I can get it to go under. So, like I said, first time, and I'm trying to work it in. And let's work it in. All right. So you see what I'm trying to do? Gotta go in here. Hook it in, try to spring it back around under this piece here. That way it's flush. There we go. All right, so we got one in. Do the other side. And just repeat the same process for the top. Just make sure your spring wing up here is flipping up and this one's flipping down, okay? So let's do this side. Same thing, in. Kind of mash on it, go up under. And there we go. All right, so we got that one set. So I usually take a wire brush and hit on the inside so these clips will sit well. And you don't want no debris to keep them from sitting the wrong way. So I'll do that. Clean them up real good. Let's pop this back in and make sure you're not scuffing up against your rotor, and just pop them in. Then you just rotate your rotor a little bit, make sure you're not scraping. All right, so let's do the same thing with the top. Sometimes you might need a screwdriver. All right, so let's set this one up as well. Not gonna do that on camera to save time, but I will be back to put everything else back and clean up stuff. All right, let's clean this up. And it wouldn't have took this long if we didn't have any issues as far as this freezing up on us. So hopefully this video helps others. Just getting back in nice and easy, and you want to try to line it up as good as possible. And we're not quite on yet. Straighten the rotor a little bit. There we go. And rotate, make sure we're not scraping. And we're good. All right. So we're set up here. Everything looks good. We're just gonna leave those sitting for now. Let's go ahead and clean these dudes up. Got my wire brush. Got some brake parts cleaner and some brake grease. So let's clean this up as good as possible. Let me get something to wipe it down with. All right, so let me take a screwdriver in here and see if there's any rust. No rust, just a little bit on the outside, so that's great. Spin this on out. Do the same for this one. See if there's any rust or anything in there. Not really, it's more grease and just a little rust up here, so that's okay. So, since we know those are good, the guide pin should slide good. And we don't have to do anything else except for grease them. And let's continue. Let me sit this one back right here just for a minute. And we're gonna continue cleaning this dude right here. So, just getting as clean as possible. As long as it's not rusty. And then we're gonna re-lube these with some brake grease and slide them back in, and they should move freely. So that's as pretty good as we're gonna get it. Let me get some brake grease. And you're gonna glob it on there quite a bit. You might get an air pocket when you're putting it back in. Get some of this off. And we're gonna glaze it all the way around, just like this. Both of them, top and bottom. And you want to put them in how they came out, because sometimes one of them has a rubber boot on it and the other one doesn't. Well, rubber boot, rubber bushing. All right, so from there, let's go ahead and slide this one back in. Like I said, you might have an air pocket. And let's go ahead and twist it. And get it on there. It's a little tight, so let's grab our pliers and let's just rock it back and forth a little bit. And let's see what we do. That one's still a little tight. Just spin him all the way around. And we're lubricating the inside while we're doing this. Let's go ahead and hit this one, clean it up. And this one has the rubber boot on it, so that'll be the bottom. And use a wire brush as best you can. If you can afford to, get you some new guide pins. But it won't hurt anything to use the old ones as long as they're not damaged. But yep, you think you're going to change your pads, and then this happens, and now you got your wheels off. Can't go back to the store. You might have to call somebody to go to the store. You might get stuck and it won't come out at all. You got to call somebody or have it towed in. So yeah, it's always something. Okay, so this one's going in nice and good, and you want to eventually do this. So let me work this one in and get it to move freely as well. All right, so we're gonna tap this a little bit, make sure they bouncing. All right, move them in and out. All right, so we're back. All right, so now we're gonna take a little brake grease and put it on our slide spots. I usually just put a little on my finger like this, and just right there on the edges. And don't touch your rotor. You don't need a lot because it's gonna clog up and dust and dirt and grime. And you just want just enough to make good. All right. And I hope that my passenger side goes just as smooth. So from here, we got that all set up. Let's get our caliper back. And get him off the hanger. And let's get it to compress back. You can also use a C-clamp or a brake pad kit. So I'm going to use a C-clamp today because it's easier, whereas you only got one piston and just need something to compress it back. So hopefully this caliper goes back without a problem. Otherwise the caliper could be froze, or your guide, your caliper line, it might be collapsed. Heat through time, it'll shrink the hose, so on the inside it'll eventually close up and fluid won't go back and go in as it's supposed to, but we're about to find out once we try to get this caliper back. Alright, here's this quick C-clamp, and I'm going to show you where I'm at. Probably already see where I'm going for those who do this quite a bit. And I'm on the top of my caliper nut, slide him up real good, just kind of balance it and keep it on there good, and let's start twisting. And the caliper's going back smooth, which is great. Take your time. It's compressing fluid. So let it do its job. I'm going back to the reservoir. Some people remove the reservoir as far as the brake fluid cap, just to push air out. So you're just pushing fluid back. So same thing applies when the caliper, when the brake reservoir cap is on, it's gonna push in and out fluid. So you don't have to do anything unless you have air in your lines. So now we're all the way back. Now just remember this, some of them go flush like this one, and some of them have a little bit of a rim around it depending on the vehicle, just saying. Alright, so we got everything good. Sit this back, we're gonna lubricate the outside of our pads a little bit. Let's do that. And make sure we don't have anything else. And we do, so we got brake screamers on these. We're gonna put those on the back side. I'm about to show you how to do that now. So let's get one is per side, so it comes with two. So one's gonna go on the driver's side, one's gonna go on the passenger side. When you start to hear squeaking before grinding, it's letting you know it's time to change your brakes. So this little indicator right here, we're gonna pop it on, make sure I don't lose my other one. All right, so here you can go top or bottom. So I usually sit mine, make sure I got the correct area. Make sure I got my pinch spot. And it might be another set. Nope, this is the one. So you got your little lip right here, and we're gonna rock it in and mash it in. I'll tear my gloves up first, or backwards and forward. And you want it to sit in this little box area like this. And that's what the back side is gonna look like. So it's right there at the edge before it hits the pad and starts to hit the metal. All right, so from there, let's go ahead and flip it upside down and get it back in. Go on the inside, just sit on the edge a little bit. And same thing with the top, just kind of wiggle it. And sometimes I'll go top bottom. We're gonna go behind the spring as much as possible and work it around. So I'm gonna go top first, because you don't want to put them in wrong. It's top first. Might have to work around the spring a little bit. I'm probably blocking the camera just a bit, so let's see. And if it's not going, don't force it, just reset. And we're coming on the inside here. And let's try to get around this spring clip so we can get into our glide spot. And having little issues, you might too, so let me get on my back so I can see correctly. All right, yep, so this is gonna be the headache spot for you, so I would come on the back side and do what I'm doing. Let's see if I can get it to go in the sleeve there. There we go. All right, so we got those in. All right, everything looks the same. All right, let's go with the other side. Now, I haven't been in here before, so all good. Let's see if these spring in. All right, so I believe these spring in, so you don't have to sit the pad on the outside. Let's see if that works. Like I said, I haven't done these before. and it was already set up, so see what we get. Squeeze that in some. Make sure we're in over here. See if we get some play. I'm gonna try and get this to be still for a second. Yeah, the spring's gonna have to go on the outside tab. So we're gonna rock it back a little bit. Get that to go there. No, it goes on the inside. Let's squeeze that back. There we go. Now we got a spring flex. So I should do this. So let's take this one back out. Go on the outside. So let me rock the spring in. Same thing with this one, rock it in. And let me go on my back again. Got one, but these are a little different. You don't have to have these, but if it came with it, just put them back on. But like I said, you don't have to have them. There we go. Stay still. All right, bet. So now that those are in correctly, got our caliper back. So what I usually do is I'll put some brake grease on the outside of the pads, and you don't have to cake it, just a little bit. Just to paint it on there, nice thin layer. And we're about to move the camera again. You see a little better what I got going on. All right, there we go. All right, so we got those there. Got a little grease on the outside. You can also, if you feel like it, some people do, some people don't. I'll take a little brake grease and hit the caliper piston a little bit around in a circle. So I'll do this and hit the contact spots a little bit just to keep it from rusting up too bad. So there we go. Let's flip our caliper back down. Usually rock this one in and push this one in and just slide it up like that. Okay. Set your guide pins. Make sure I'm all good. And this one's not set yet. There we go. Got that one in. Now, we got this little box area right here on the caliper. So we're going to rotate this. And we want it to sit up against there like that. Okay, so I'm going to hold that in this place. Let's get one to stay, and I'm going to do the same for the bottom. We had a very tedious brake job today. And we're going, so that's great. But yeah, it locks it up to where when you're screwing this in, it doesn't rock. Okay. Once again, just wanted to say apologies for the way the video ended. Ran out of storage space. You know how it is sometimes, but all good. I hope you make it through the job, and I hope you have no issues like we had in the video as far as guide pins being frozen and all that. But live life, love it. To the next video, guys. I'm out.